G'day everyone, this is Ken VK2BBQ here to talk about putting together a Tet-Emtron TB-11K 1-to-1 Balun. It comes as a kit and is supplied through ARNSW, Amateur Radio New South Wales, and particularly you might like to have a talk with Rayner VK2BBQ if you're a member of ARNSW. If you're not a member of ARNSW, then talk with Al VK2BBQ via field day at arnsw.org.au for details of the supplier of these baluns. Today what we're going to do is we're going to quickly put together a 1-to-1 balun from the kit. With the kit comes this handy guide for the construction of one of these baluns. You can get the kit, which includes the box, ferret rings, coax, a little bit of coax cable, cable ties and so on, as listed there. When you get the kit, make sure you've got all the bits and pieces. There's no point putting together something and finding out that half the parts are missing. I have put a few of these together and never found any of the parts missing, but you never know. You will need some tools, again as listed here. Soldering iron, Phillips head screwdriver, small pliers, 8mm socket and a sharp craft knife. Without further ado, let's have a look at the package and what is contained in the instructions as they are listed on the handout which comes with the kit. First, unpack the kit and make sure it is all there according to the parts list at the top of this page. Should have already done this. Number 2, bolt the connector on using the two M3 bolts, the M3 nylock nuts and the solder tag. Let's do it. Right, by now you should have something that looks a little bit like this, we hope. The connector is on the outside. You'll see that the screws are facing inside so that the nylock connectors are on the inside, and on the right hand side is the solder lug as noted in the instructions. So now we'll go on to step 3. And step 3 is put the coax through the ferrite about 30mm and so on. So let's go and do that. Right, so I have now wound the coax around the ferrite core. You'll see that I've got 4 windings on one side with the crossover and 4 windings on the other side. They're secured by these cable ties which are crossed over. The instructions, and I do read the instructions, call for 3 centimetres or 30mm to be extended on this side. I've actually allowed a little bit more, but it results in this significantly longer length on the other end. So I'm now ready to solder, to strip and to solder the coax on the ends according to the instructions and then tin them up. In the next section I'm going to suggest that you cut the top coax at 50mm according to the instructions. I had a lot of difficulty with the 50mm cut. I suggest strongly that you make it a 70mm cut, a little bit longer than are in the instructions. I have now exposed 20mm of the outer casing of the coax and about 7mm of the inner connector of or conductor of the coax and you'll see that I've bunched up the outer connector like that. They're both now awaiting tinning. The top part of the connector coax is now quite lengthy, as you can see there. The instructions call for that to be trimmed to about 5 centimeters, 50 mil. So I'll do that now. That's a little bit longer, but that'll do the job. And now I have a top connector coax there and the bottom one down there. This will now, I will now go and expose the top connector and get it ready for tinning as well. Now I have put the core into the box and soldered the bottom connectors to the external connector. Should look something like this at this stage now. You'll notice that I still haven't done the top coax to the connectors. I've simply placed the core in and soldered at the bottom. We're now up to this much done. You'll see that the top connector coax has now been connected into the two side lugs. That had a lot of difficulty with that. I would suggest that rather than cutting at 50 mil, you need to cut it at longer than 50 mil. I only just managed to get that coax to stretch in. Probably a little late to be telling you to uncut now, isn't it? Anyway, so that's where you should be up to now. We're just about finished. Well, we're in the last legs of our construction, and this is where we're up to. Now you'll see that I've screwed on the two side posts. These go onto the wings of the dipole, and the bolts have gone in from the outside with the flat washer followed by the spring washer. And I've done that on both sides, and we're now nearly at the end of construction. All we need to do now is to fit down here the strain holding bolt, and we're going to screw it in there. You can see the bolt going in there, and then we'll put the wing nut on with the washer after that. It just screws in with, they recommend a drill, but I'm tending to think it's easy enough just to use your hand and a little pair of pliers like this to wind that bolt into the hole. Well, in fact, I cheated a little bit and I used an 8mm bolt right there, and that just screws in like that. Bolt is now in. You put the washer on. Going that way. Wing nut on, and that has completed our construction. We can now put on the cover onto our encasement, put a little sticker on outlining exactly what we've got inside. We put a little plastic over the top. I'm not going to do that because I want to leave this particular version exposed, and we now have completed our one-to-one Balun. I hope you've enjoyed putting this one together. This is VK2BBQ signing out.